Good evening. We've just heard that a light plane with 3 people on board has ditched near Auckland's Mangere Airport. There are no other details available yet, but emergency services are attending. The Prime Minister has called on Roger Douglas to declare his loyalty before MPs vote for 2 new Cabinet Ministers on Thursday. But Mr Douglas won't say till then whether he would again work under David Lange.
Now Labour MPs must decide if one or both the ex-ministers should be re-elected to Cabinet. Mr Douglas won't say if he's prepared to go back in, but the success of David Cagle's budget raises the question of what will be gained by Mr Douglas's return. Mr Prebble could be re-elected if Mr Douglas steps aside. Mr Lange says caucus will finally decide on Thursday, but he did call on the former ministers to declare their motives.
Domestic airlines have 5 years to make their jets quieter or replace them. The main offenders, Boeing 737s, will be banned from Wellington Airport in 5 years unless they're silenced. Air New Zealand may challenge the ruling, which could cost it millions of dollars.
Air New Zealand's 11 Boeing 737s and Ansets will be banned from Wellington Airport from April 1994. The local council says they're too noisy because they operate so close to houses in the area. Now the government agrees. Unless the planes are quietened, the use must be cut back by 5% every 6 months till the banning date. Although the new regulations apply only to Wellington Airport, they'll affect pretty well all passenger jets flying in New Zealand. Most flights either stop or pass through the capital.
Early inquiries into last night's mid-air collision near Palmerston North suggest the planes were flying side by side when the propeller of one hit the wing of the other. 2 people died in the accident, leaving the local Aero Club captain the only uninjured survivor. An 18-year-old Timaru man is due to appear in court tomorrow, charged with killing an unborn child. It's believed to be the first charge of its kind in New Zealand. The man is also accused of causing grievous bodily harm to a young woman who's still in hospital. The family of Greg Chapman has returned to Christchurch after visiting the Auckland Park where the young bartender was brutally slain last week. The family has pleaded for the public to help with the inquiry.
What he went through in that court for an hour, he had nobody to help him, protect him or anything. Nobody at all.
Overseas, and Israel is still refusing to bargain with terrorists after kidnapping Muslim leader Sheikh Obad in Lebanon last week. The Israelis have been given an ultimatum by the Iranian-backed Organisation of the Oppressed World, which threatens to retaliate and hang an American hostage, Lieutenant Colonel William Higgins.
The Cabinet was unrepentant this morning. Despite mounting international criticism of the kidnapping, Israeli officials defended the action and suggested that the various condemnations might not be as serious as they seem. But the defiance turned to silence when the ultimatum was issued. Defense Minister Moshe Aarons had nothing to say. In Tehran today, Iran's interior minister warned that Islamic groups all over the world will retaliate against Israel and the United States for Sheikh Obad's abduction.
Until recently, the world has always thought there was only one type of tuatara, a reptile that predates the dinosaur and is unique to New Zealand. But now local zoologists say they've found a totally new variety. And to ensure there's a future for these reptiles, they intend setting up a special colony on Brothers Island in the Cook Strait. That's all from Newsbreak tonight. Now, with the Maori News Summary, here's Pierre.
Good evening, Nicola. Kia ora. No te rā horoi poroporo aki tia ngā taonga kei te haere ki Tarawāhi, i te tahi whakāturanga pērā no ki te Maori. Hei te kotahi o ngā rāo oketopa hoaki ai taua whakāturanga ki Poi Hakena. Tātu ki tōna mutunga hei te hurae a te tau iwa te kau i Brisbane. Kei te iwa te kau mārua ngā taonga, ko te mea kau mātua rātou kei te ono rau tau te tawhito. No te rānei ka whakamana tia te manatū hau mo ngā take Māori. Kia kore kau anō te tari Māori hei te oketopa e tū mai nei. Ko Rawiri Lange tonu te kai korero nui te pōwhiritanga a te manatū ki te whare pārimata ina ponei. Kei runga tatake i te 1 miliona ngā moni whakatimata me waihanga mo te manatū Māori i roto i te pūtea ātau o te Rawiki. No ngā rā whakatā he ono ngā poraka whenua me whakahoki ki ngā hapu kāinga e te minita Māori a koro wetere. Ko aua whenua kei te tai rāwhiti me te wairoa. Ko e nei toha i runga i te kaupapa tuku rangatiratanga a te kāwanatanga. Tata ki te whitu te kau ngā poraka whenua i raro i te chiaki a te tari Māori i mua, Engari I tēnei wā he te kaumārima nui hoke I te toe. Hei te rā pōpō ka tatu te minita mō ngā whare a Helen Clark ki te tai tokerau. Ko ia ko te tūwhera I ngā whare reneti e toru, me hangana te kōpareihana whare I matauri I te moana o whangaroa. Me whakatū aua kāinga I runga I te kaupapa mō te hunga noho tua whenua. Ko tōna kaupapa hei te tau tuarima, me hokoina ki te kōpareihana o matauri nā rātou te papa whenua. No te pō te rā horoi ka tau mai ki te hau kāinga ngā whakairo a te whare tūpuna o tūmatauenga, te whare whakaruru hau I ngā hoia I a rātou I Vietnam. No te tau ono te kau mārua ka tūwhera taua whare te pihopa Maori a whakahuihui Verkau I te wā iaia e minita hoi ana. Kia ora.